Everybody good for our sound?
Yep.
All right, so I'll start with my name. I'm Fentress. That's F as in Frank, E, N as in Nancy, T as in Tom, R-E-S-S. Last name Fountain, F-O-U-N-T-A-I-N. Public Relations Coordinator with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
What did they find out here today? When did they find it?
So shortly after 8 o'clock this morning, our 911 center received a call from someone advising that they passed by what they thought was a mannequin that was on fire in the field that you see behind me. Hillsborough County Fire Rescue responded to the scene, and they determined the subject was actually a person. The body is so severely burned that we are unable to determine the identification at this time, whether it's male or female, but our investigators are working tirelessly to determine what happened here.
So it was on fire at that point? They saw the fire and everything?
Correct. We received a 911 call, and the caller just stated, we see what we think is a mannequin laying in the field. It's on fire. Come check it out.
Any reports of missing people out here at all or anything like that?
No, sir, not at this time.
And, location-wise, is this a field that's, publicly owned? Is it someone's backyard? Where exactly?
This is a residential area, and a lot of these houses are still in the development phase, so this is just a field behind one of those areas.
So no one really lives in this house?
This is a residential area. Yes, there are people in this house. This whole neighborhood is a residential area, but the place where the body was found is just in a field in between those homes.
Now, can you speak to the point where has any calls like this ever came out before, where people were just burning in these fields back here?
At this point, we're still in the early stages of the investigation, but we have no indication of something like this happening in this area recently.
And you spoke to the, condition of the body. Obviously, you can't identify the person, male or female, but is there any sort of characteristics that are able to identify race, anything like that?
Unfortunately, at this time, due to the state of the body, we are unable to confirm any details regarding the identification of the victim. All we can say is that we are actively trying to determine what happened here, what time the body got here, and who is responsible for this crime, because it's a pretty gruesome scene.
And what's going on right now behind us?
Right now, investigators are just working the case, just trying to get closer and determine who the person is. That is our first goal, is just to determine who this person is so we can notify the victim's family.
You guys heard any concerns or any people who live by coming by and saying anything? Like, are they scared or anything like that? Is people worried?
At this time, this is an isolated incident. We don't believe there is any threat to the public. We are just working to determine what happened and release those details for the family.
I saw in the release the sheriff said, obviously a jarring situation for first responders to get here and see this. Can you speak a little bit more to that, exactly, that discovery?
This is a very jarring scene. Obviously, our deputies work around the clock to get justice for victims' families. In this situation, we can't even tell you right now whether this person is a male or a female, and so we're actively just trying our best to find out who this person is. The body is so severely burned that we can't confirm the identity. So we're working around the clock to find out what happened here. That way we can bring justice to whoever's family member this is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Was the person spotted? Were they driving or walking or running by?
When we received the 911 call, the caller stated that they were driving by and they thought it was a mannequin that was on fire. But unfortunately, we are here now. We have determined that this is a person.
So when they found them, the body was still on fire?
That is correct. When Hillsborough County Fire Rescue responded to the scene, they extinguished the flames, and that's when they determined that it was a person, not a mannequin.
And do we know how long it was on fire for?
At this time, we are unsure of that.
And when the 911 call came through, did the person say anything about another person being alongside with the fire, or was it just...
No, sir. When we received the caller just stated, hey, there is a mannequin that we believe is on fire. Come check it out. And when Hillsborough County Fire Rescue responded to the scene, they extinguished the flames as quickly as they could, and that's when we were alerted that it was a person, and now we have taken over this investigation.
Any people of interest or people specifically officers are looking to talk to right now?
At this time, we have very few details to release. It's an active investigation, and we are working around the clock to determine what happened.
And where exactly was it? In this area, or is it just right along the river?
In the field behind me is where the body can be seen, and at this time we are just, like I said, trying to determine what happened, trying to keep the public away. That way we can work our investigation. And one thing I would like to add, if anyone has any information or was in the area around 8 o'clock, you are encouraged to call the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office at 813-247-8200.
And for people who live in the neighborhood, how can they, if that's what we're trying to figure out, is there another alternate route for them to go to get home? Or
At this point, before you get to the crime scene tape, you can just turn left and go around that way and be rerouted around the area. But all the houses, the body is in the middle of the field, so they should not have any restrictions getting to their homes because the roads on both sides are still open.
Now, is there anything you might want to put out to the public or anyone living in this area, living in the area, that just like any things to keep in mind?
Just this is a jarring scene. It is horrific for our deputies to come across a deceased person, and we just want to get justice for this victim's family, whoever this victim is. So if you have any details whatsoever or you're in the area, we ask you to reach out to us. We'd appreciate any details that could help in this investigation.
Thank you.
Y'all good?
Thank you.